no idea what I wanted to cook today. We had some steak cubed up that I had left over, and it just sounded really good, and Mexican sounds really good. But rather than going out, I wanted to make my own. So I'm gonna make some braised Mexican beef bites along with a citrus avocado salad. Just sounded really good and delicious. Let's just knock it out. So I've got a pan that we're gonna sear off our beef first. We're gonna add coconut oil. Rather than getting my hands all messy, we're gonna put that in. And we're gonna braise / sear up all this beef. Let that melt. Quick, simple dish. Using coconut oil, high smoke point, sub it out for whatever oil you want. 1 pound of beef is what we're doing today. I'll have the recipe in the description so you don't have to try and write all this down and memorize it. That is melted. Our pan's nice and hot. Go ahead and get our beef going. Now I'm doing this first, searing it before we season it. Lots of seasonings that are gonna go onto this beef. I just wanna get really good color before we season it up. But we're gonna be using oregano, cumin, salt, pepper, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder for the initial seasoning. And then we'll be adding in some red wine vinegar, a little bit of honey, and then we're actually going to reduce it down with a little cider beer. Had some laying around, so I said, why not? I'm using the crisp apple Angry Orchard. Which I already have portioned out. But you always need extra for yourself. Okay, this is searing off really nice. And leave the meat. Let it get super nice color before we do anything to it. Few minutes, probably on each side. Then we're gonna end up braising it. I use beef chuck. That's what we had cut down. Any cut will do. The longer you cook it, you could also do this in the oven. You could sear it on your stove, and then you could go into the oven. With that, a avocado citrus salad. Avocados, I know they're expensive right now, but it just sounded really good. And I'm gonna be using Sumo oranges for this as well. They were on sale at the store and thought it would look really good, along with a little side dressing, so it's gonna come up really good. What you're looking for is that color right there, that nice dark color, and then you know you can flip. Ooh, that keeps on me. Cast iron would work really good, stainless steel. Anything that can take a high smoke. We need our pan rip roaring hot. If it's not, basically what's gonna happen is as water just releases from the beef, it's just gonna boil your meat, and we want that brown color. That's what's giving flavor and building fond on the bottom of our pan that we're gonna end up deglazing to pull that off to help make our sauce. So we're gonna let that start to cook down. I'm gonna start adding the seasonings. We'll end up tossing those all together. So we've got our Mexican oregano, cumin, paprika, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. Add those as well. And what we can do is kind of mix that around, seasoned all over. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Let that get all happy for literally like 1 minute. And then we're going to end up deglazing this pan. Again, deglazing is just bringing up the fond, all the bits that stick to the bottom. Again, it's all flavor. It's delicious. Let those go. I'm going to grab a bowl. We'll pull this up. We'll pull this off while we deglaze the pan. We're going to let it slow cook inside. Okay, let's get this pulled. So you see all that. That is flavor. We don't want to get rid of it at all. I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit. The pan is going to be hot enough that it's going to allow that fond to come up. So we're going to add our beer. And you see when it hits the pan and it starts bubbling, that's when it's pulling up all of that flavor. And you can scrape that off. And as it kind of does its thing simmering, it will release that. We're also going to add in our red wine vinegar, a little acid there. And for a little sweetness, we're going to put in some honey. Grab a spoon. Okay. A little honey. Okay. Come on, heat. Get that honey. There we go. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to set a timer real quick. I'm going to do about 5 minutes-ish. Okay. But you can see as it bubbles, all that flavor's coming up. And at the same time, what we're doing is we're reducing down the liquids to make our sauce. Additionally, I've got a little beef broth. If it gets too thick, we can add our beef broth and also give it a little bit more flavor when we add it back to the pan. I prefer Kettle and Fire. It's an awesome brand, just really high quality. You can use whatever beef broth you want. You can see all the bits coming off the bottom of the pan, which is exactly what we want. So those are going to keep going. I've turned my heat down. And that's going to kind of simmer, do its thing for, again, I got about 4 minutes. While that's simmering, let's focus on our salad. And for that, we need, again, an avocado. I've already pre-washed everything, so I don't have to worry about it. And yes, you still want to wash anything that has an outside peel, because when you cut into it, guess what? Anything that's on the outside, it's going to go on the inside. So wash all the produce, fruits, vegetables first before you would actually cut them. So I already have one avocado done, but I'm going to get this one cut right down the middle. Twist it open. Then you can use your knife, plop that out. Recommend towel, something to grab it off. You will cut yourself. I've done it too many times. Okay. Another little trick. Oh my gosh. Another little tip trick that I like to do. You can scoop this out. You can cut it inside, but for pretty plate presentation, I'm going to cut it right down the middle. And what you can do then is you can actually peel. Now, depending on how ripe these are a little underripe, kind of on the border. The skin is going to actually peel off. Peel that. You get these really nice pieces of avocado. This is what they do in sushi restaurants to get those nice cuts that they're using for sushi. They will peel it this way versus kind of scooping it out. Okay, we're going to add in some beef stock, actually, as this reduces down, getting thicker. So we're going to add that beef stock, and we can keep adding and reducing, and that's just going to continue to concentrate the flavor and make the sauce that we're going to end up braising. This avocado hates me. Okay, there we go. Another piece and one more. This is good for your kids. Get your hands messy. Kids love messy, right? I know mine do. All right. So we got all those. Let's clear this off, wash my hands up, clean my cutting board up. Okay. And then we're going to make them into cubed pieces. Keeping an eye on my braising liquids here. Okay. So what I'm going to do for these pieces is I will kind of cut it right in half. So we have two of those, and then just looking for some cube chunks. Again, it's for salad, so however you prefer the size of your avocados, that's how big you would cut them. And these are going to kind of match up to a degree with the size of the orange segments that we're going to do. Okay, there's our avocado. If you're not eating it right away, you'll definitely want to put some lime juice, some sort of acid onto your avocados so they don't brown up. We'll be using them pretty quickly here. Let's get this board cleaned up a little bit more. Our sauce, it's reducing down those liquids, concentrating. I'm going to take a tiny taste. You can always adjust sweetness, anything else that we wanted to, but we're just looking for a base flavor, and then we can always add more beef stock, salt, whatever we need to add. Ooh, that is good. Acid, sweet, salty. Oh man, that is really good. We're gonna add a little bit more beef stock. Timer's almost done. What we're gonna do is reintroduce the beef back to the pan to allow it to slow cook. Again, depending on your cut of beef, how tender it is, you could take this, put it in a pan, throw it in the oven, really low and slow, and it would just be kind of pull apart. I'm not gonna do that. So the timer is done. Let's go ahead and add our beef back to our bowl. Okay. And I'm going to turn my heat down to a gentle simmer. So in this case, I'm going like 205 to 210. Okay, to let that simmer. And I don't have a lid for this pan, so we are going to use another saute pan. That is how you do it in the kitchen, okay? Okay, we have our avocados cut. Again, I already have one already done. We're going to add to the mix that I had lime juice with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to segment some oranges while this kind of reduces down. Let me set another timer here so we don't forget. I'm going to set it for about 10 minutes, and then we'll check the beef. Okay. So segments, actually the pieces of the orange. So we're going to take the pith off so that way we don't have those pieces on the orange. It makes you look fancy. Kids love it. You don't get that bitter taste. I already did one, but here is that sumo tangerine that we're going to use. So we're going to take the top and the bottom. That's going to get discarded. And what we're going to do is we're going to work our way around the orange. Now this does take some practice, but you'll get it. And what you're wanting to look at is where the white is you're going to use that as a guide for your knife as you go down. So that way you don't get a ton of pith on your orange. Taking those off. Okay, you can always flip it over, take a look. You miss a couple little pieces, you can kind of do some quick cuts to take that off. Okay, let's get this off of our board. Now here's where the magic happens on segmenting. What we need to do is, these are all the segments of where it's split naturally. So what we want to do is go down as close as we can to the center, okay? And then we can turn and cut, or you could also go down this side. So if you turn and cut, it looks like this. We turn, we can almost peel it off as the orange comes apart. But what you can do is you can almost just peel it up and off, and you can see how it kind of stays. So since this one did not want to stay on the orange, we're going to cut down that side, and I'm going to take this side off as well. Just be careful you don't cut yourself. And then we'll get back to the other orange. Okay, so back to the orange, down, okay, turn, give it a little cut, and then it will kind of release itself. So into the container. So let's just get all these orange segments out. Fun story, back in North of the casino, we were doing a beurre blanc, which is a butter sauce. And it was, I believe, a citrus beurre blancs, and no one was an orange. And we had to do this for, I can't even remember how many oranges. It was at least 20 pounds, 30 pounds of oranges, so we could have the sauce. It was not fun, I'll tell you that. But you get really good at it if you do it, 20, 30 pounds at a time. But for the most part, again, it's just a way to make the orange taste clean. So if you're doing a nice brunch or something and you want to have a cool garnish, this is really great. And then I like to keep that extra juice as well. Okay, let's clean, as I spilled some oranges. Let's get this all cleaned up and then check on our beef. So I'm going to take a quick peek, and that's what we want. We want a gentle simmer on our beef. That way it's breaking down the muscles, making it more tender. And we can always make the sauce thicker by removing that beef or pulling it out and then letting that simmer down. But we've still got about 5 minutes before we'll actually check the tenderness on that beef. While that's still going, I'm going to add jalapeno to our salad. I like that extra crunch. I like the flavor. So I'm going to actually cut that as well. I'm going to wear a glove, as I don't want to accidentally itch my eye or touch myself and then get jalapeno all up in there. Okay. I'm only going to do a little bit. I don't need the whole jalapeno. Again, we'll do a bottom. Take the top off. I'm not going to use those. I'm going to go down the middle and pull out these seeds. Maybe I'll throw on another glove. Better safe than sorry. So 1/2 over, and then we'll just scrape this off into here. I'm sure there's faster ways to clean a jalapeno, but it's the way it's getting done today. Okay. Trash. And we can cut this up. I'm going to go really small because it's for our salad, so I don't want really big pieces. Okay, and we're going to turn. Okay, so we have a nice small dice for our jalapeno. Again, clean our station. I'm going to wipe and spray all this down so we don't get jalapeno all over everything. Okay, I also want to do a little red onion, and with that, just a really, really quick pickle. So I'm going to actually take the top and the bottom off because we're going to be doing slices. And I only need about 1/4 of the onion. So I'm going to take this that off to the side. Those are gone. And then we will peel off the outside layer. Again, we're going to go really, really super fine on this, as it is for the citrus salad. So really, really thin. All right, so we went really razor thin on those. I'm going to use this pan. I'm going to throw those in. And along with that is going to be some more red wine vinegar, lime juice, this is 1 lime, and a touch of sweetness from some honey. And we're going to kind of let the onions kind of absorb that, all those flavors, just for a super quick pickle, like 5 minutes, if that, while our beef cooks, while we're kind of assembling everything else. Okay, I'm going to set that off to the side as well. Other things we need to do, we're going to do some lime wedges just for garnish. We're going to use a little cilantro that I've already chopped up for the dish, and then we'll use some for garnish as well. And a little spray, clean, clean. Clean as you go. That's the motto. Clean as you go. Okay. Beef's got about a minute left. Do a quick peek on that. Oh yeah, we got good flavor still going on in there. What I think I'm gonna do with this is I want to take a little bit of zest off, but I want to do it with this tool that I never get to use ever. It's a citrus zester, and so it gives you this really cool design. Do it on here. So we can use it for garnish. So rather than using our microplane, which is what I was going to use, let's use this. So we'll get some lime zest for some garnish. Why not, right? Let's have some fun. Gives it another complexity. I don't think we need a whole lot. So I do need a couple wedges for the actual garnish. So kick those to one side of the pan, and then we will go down the middle. And if you're making wedges, you're going to want to go that way. Check our beef here. Go down the middle. So then again, you can see the segments, and we will go in half again, and then a half again, and one more time. That's going to give us 4 nice wedges. Those in there. And if we want, we could peel off more if we wanted to. Okay, let's check on that beef real quick. Might need to go a little bit longer. I don't want it to be super tough, but it doesn't need to break and fall apart for what I'm doing. Oh yeah, look at that beef. So let's get a fork. Do a quick check. So it's definitely tenderizing. I can get my fork into it. So let's take a little sneak peek of see what it tastes like. So still got some bite, some chew to it. So I'm going to let this continue to cook. Let's go about 5 more minutes. And we'll check it after that 5 minutes. Pretty much have everything ready for the salad. Check on our onions real quick. Those are looking good as well. And while our beef is finishing, let's just take a quick break. So good. And let's compose. All right, let's get a bowl and we'll start to construct our salad. So some avocados I already had done. You can tell they're already wanting to brown up, even with the lime juice. So our avocados, it was 2 avocados that I did. It was 2 oranges. Maybe, you know what, maybe we'll cut these down. Maybe we'll go like half size on these, so that way they match more of the size of the avocado. Let's do that. That way everything's roughly the same size. You don't want to lose that juice in there because that's going to be part of the dish as well. Just get enough, just enough orange juice in there. Let's put these down. Okay, now we can add those to our salad. I'm going to add that orange juice. Okay, we're gonna add, let's see. Now I gotta be careful with the avocado. I don't want it to mush or really break down, so we wanna be gentle on getting everything added kind of in, and then we'll kind of give it a toss versus being really blunt and brutal with it. Let's go ahead and add in our jalapeno. Some heat, our cilantro chopped up. We're going to add a bit of salt, a tiny bit of pepper, I think about a half teaspoon, little extra virgin olive oil, and this is where extra virgin oil comes in handy. You're not cooking with it, so we can go right in. And I'm going to give that a little toss. And what I think I want to do for this one is I want to use a tiny bit of the reserved liquids from our onions. So we'll get that flavor, some of that onion flavor in, but I think we'll use the onions more as a garnish. We'll put it kind of on top for that crunch. So again, a very easy, quick, simple salad. Avocados, oranges, a little bit of lime juice. We'll have their cilantro in there, and then these onions as well. So that's pretty much ready to be plated up. We've got just a couple minutes on our beef, so maybe we'll plate up our salad. So I got these really cool ramekins from Roro, made out in Thailand, and really cool ramekins, kind of inspired today too because of how they look, right? They look like a mortar pestle, but they're, you know, smooth on the inside. So I'm going to use that as our serving dish for our avocado salad. Should have used a bigger spoon. That's all right. Some here. Give this other one some love. I got people here today at the studio. I know they're gonna want to eat this up. Let's make it nice. Avocado salad. It's refreshing. It's clean. No real preservatives. You know, lime juice acts as a natural. Okay. Get back here. Says, don't eat me. Okay. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay. So our salad. And then let's add in a little bit of our kind of quick pickled onions on the top. I hear you. I hear you. As a little garnish. Again, you can mix this in if you want it, but just for looks, we'll add that as a bit of a garnish. And then maybe just a tiny bit of this lime zest as well. Just, again, really cool presentation. Right here on the board so it's easier to see. So, again, we got our salad, we got our onions, we've got our lime zest. Set this off. Wipe my hands. And let's check on that beef again, one more time. See how it looks. Oh yeah. Looking good, slow cooking. Excited to eat this. Let's give it a try. Oh yeah. It's tender, but it still has bite to it. So it's not just falling apart, which is kind of what I'm doing. If I was doing a taco, maybe I would really slow cook this so it kind of breaks down and almost even shreds. Do a beef taco, but we're doing it as kind of its own plate for this dish. And that sauce it's almost where I want it. It's not syrupy and thick, but it's going to have enough body that you can dip that beef into. So let's just take this as it is and plate this up. Hopefully I'll have enough for 2 plates. Again, we went about a full pound of beef. Grab my spoon here. And let's just ladle that right into these bowl plates. Again, these were sent to me, so they look really cool, and I wanted to use them today. So look at that. You got all that juice right on top. Just add that to the dish. Oh my God. Yes, yes, yes. We could add beans, we could add rice, whatever we wanted to it. We're gonna add a couple lime wedges for garnish on each plate. I don't know, try to make it look cool. Some cilantro right on top as well. Whole leaves, didn't chop it up. Look at that. Super quick, easy, braised beer beef bites, if you will. I've never made it before. It looked good, sounded good, kind of worked on putting it together, along with some avocado citrus salads. There you go. Quick, easy dish that you can prepare on any given night. This looks fantastic. I can't wait to eat it. Let me know what you want to see next. Like, comment, subscribe. I check all of that. If there's a dish you want to see, you want me to cook, from good earthy stuff to more fancy stuff, you know, and everything in between. I just love to cook. It's fun to do this. So hit me up, and until next time, catch you on the sunny side.